Standing by.
Thank you, Connie. Hey, Jesse, I know you're standing by in Ranger 9 as she takes a look out. We want to get back with you.
Yeah.
Are things clearing it up at all in terms of smoke and what you can see?
Well, we're hearing reports that there are people down on the ground, and a lot of people walking around, cut, bleeding from the glass blown out of the building when the explosion occurred. I can see fires on the ground. Emergency crews are responding, and the debris has completely covered the street. It's blown from downtown north across the street, and it's just totally devastating. It's 1/3 of the building.
Jesse, this looks like a war zone down there.
Most definitely. It looks like something you see on the evening news in Europe, maybe in Bosnia, where a shelling would occur. Obviously, there was no shelling here, some sort of explosion, but very powerful to take out that much of the building.
I tell you what, we felt it here at Newsline 9. We're getting calls from towns all around who have said they felt something. They want to know what's going on. That's why we're staying with you live. We want to get injury information to you just as soon as possible. Jesse, I know you're standing by there. We're going to let you go and see if you can get some more information. Another individual on the phone at the Bricktown Brewery, one of the nearby buildings, their windows blew. Are you with me right now?
Yes.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Tell us what you know. What happened to the brewery down there, Jim Cohen?
The damage that we sustained was on our 3rd and 4th floor. Windows just totally were blown out. We had no idea what was going on until we went up there and then looked out the windows and saw the big cloud of smoke from the downtown area.
Jim, how about your workers? Do you have injuries there, or was it quiet?
Absolutely no injuries here. There's no damage to the first 2 floors. It was just the windows and then just the shaking of the building. It was almost like being in an earthquake.
That's exactly what it felt like here. What went through your mind?
Well, from living in California in the past, earthquakes went through my mind, and I just couldn't believe it would happen here, but luckily that wasn't it.
We're getting word right now, for those of you who have people who work downtown, stay there with me, Jim, if you can. It's the Alfred Murrah building. Thank you, Jim. We appreciate you joining us. Heidi Browning on the scene. She's getting ready. She's on the scene right now. We told you we've talked with Jesse Gary in the air. Heidi Browning, I believe, is on the ground. Is that correct, Des? Heidi Browning on the ground. She's getting ready. So we're about to get her, I'm hearing, on phone. Heidi, are you with me now?
Tammy, I am.
What can you tell us?
Tammy, I'm at Northwest 4th and Harvey, and this is like a sight out of a war zone. It is absolutely incredible. They are bringing people out of the A.P. Murray Federal Building, which is apparently where this explosion took place. They are bringing people out that are just covered in blood. Ambulance crews have been arriving for the last 10 minutes, and they are going into the building. Apparently, other employees who were not injured are helping their coworkers out.
With
apparently, I guess, broken glass injuries. They're covered in blood. All the windows, I'm on the north side of the Federal Building, are blown out. There is a huge fire burning on the south side of the building. I came from up that way. The Water Resources Building, which is on the south side, it also looks like it's damaged. There is a very large fire. There was debris everywhere down here, smoke billowing into the air. The large church at the corner of 4th and Harvey, all the stained glass windows have been blown out of the east side of the building. Again, it is chaos down here. Also, there's a high-rise building, an apartment complex just west of where this explosion took place. All of the windows are broken out of that. I was down at the police station when this exploded, and we thought our building had been hit. The ceiling tiles lifted and dropped, and the whole building was shaking. Tammy?
Heidi, we're going to let you go because I know you want to get some more information. An incredible scene, so we want to go now to Randy Renner, who is also on the ground, ready for a live report. Randy?
Tammy, you can see the Alfred Murrah building, what's left of the Alfred Murrah building, these dramatic pictures coming from Barry Levy's camera. All around us there are dazed people, some with blood, some the shirts hanging off of them, glass debris everywhere, fires burning in the parking lot. The police and emergency crews are talking about moving us back because of the danger of a possibility of another explosion. The devastation at the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building appears to be almost total. There are emergency crews responding from everywhere. As Barry and I were driving up, There's glass blown out of virtually every building downtown. There's also heavy damage at many of the other buildings here in the downtown area, some structural damage perhaps. It is obviously a disaster of major proportions here in Oklahoma City. Numerous injuries, and obviously, by the looks of the Murrah building, numerous fatalities. Tammy.
Okay, Randy, stand by if you will. We want to keep coming back to you. Let me pass this along. Some of the offices we're getting word that are in this building, it's Alfred Murrah side of it, blown off this morning at 9 o'clock. DEA offices, it's our understanding ATF offices, Secret Service. This is an initial word we're getting on some of the offices in that building. We're wanting... Police are now asking us to move from downtown. That's why we're going back to this tower cam shot. We've got crews on the ground who were there in minutes to get you information, but we obviously want to cooperate with police. They have asked our crews to move, so Heidi Browning and Randy Renner are moving now. It's my understanding, though, Heidi is able to stay in her spot. I'm getting that word on the phone. Heidi, I don't suppose you're getting any word as to whether or not there are tunnels under this building, are you?
Tammy, I wish I knew. Obviously, all of the officials are more than just busy. It is a very hectic scene. They are all rushing into the building trying to take out injured people. I don't know anything about the construction of the building. I don't know exactly what part of it might have been the target of this explosion, if indeed it was a bomb. I mean, I don't know that yet. But I can tell you the damage is horrific. It is as if a missile hits this part of downtown. Again, every window is broken out. There is glass all over the streets for blocks. There is papers and debris flying, and the people that are coming out of the building in streams, they're coming out, and they are all bleeding. There are crews here setting up a makeshift emergency center here at the corner of 4th and Harvey, where they are treating people on the sidewalk, people with injuries ranging from minor cuts on their arms to people who are just covered with blood. Tammy?
Heidi, so what you're saying is injuries they're coming out, and it's not slowing down at all in terms of people being brought out of that building?
Not at this point, no. There are some people also consoling each other. It's a very frightening experience down here. It's obviously something of a massive level.
Incredible. Heidi, I want to pass this along to you. We're asking you now to go to 5th and Broadway.
5th and Broadway?
Where our live truck will meet up with you, and we'll hope to get to you very soon, Heidi. Browning reporting for us live. Downtown, it is the Alfred Murrah building, for those of you just joining us and who did not feel the explosion this morning. The Alfred Murrah building, the side of it, completely blown off. Our crews on the ground are describing total chaos and nothing short of a war zone. Randy Renner tells us on the scene it looks like a missile hit the side of the building. It will be a miracle if there are no fatalities, and we don't hold out a lot of hope after hearing from Heidi Browning just now that people are being taken out of the building covered in blood. It is hard to tell if it was from the explosion or the flying glass, because we are getting word glass has blown out of buildings downtown as far as 5 blocks away, and cities away felt the explosion this morning. Our phones are ringing off the hook. We're getting calls from Edmond, Del City. We felt it at Newsline 9, 5 miles away this morning. We'll stay with you. So let me get some more information, and we'll stay on this tower cam shot, because our ground crews there on the scene were asked to move. So we're going to go to those shots when they get in place again and are able to report again. Here's some more information. We're getting reports. You know, we've told you we don't know what caused the explosion, but we're getting reports that the FBI did get a bomb threat last week. We're also getting reports there may have been children in the building at the time of the explosion. No confirmations on if it was a bomb, but we are getting word that there was some type of bomb threat a week ago. Is it Kurt Myron is on the phone with us right now. He used to work in the Murrah building. Kurt, we're glad you're with us because we want an understanding of who's working in this building downtown today. What type of offices, Kurt?
Well, there are a number of federal agencies that were resident in that building. I work for the Department of Housing and Urban Development, which has the 7th and 8th floors. To the best of my knowledge, the first floor there was a Social Security Administration office. The Federal Employees Credit Union was on the 3rd floor. There was a Veterans Administration and Small Business Administration offices there. Someone asked a question earlier if there was a tunnel beneath that building, and yes, that federal building shared a parking lot in common with a building across the street to the south, the federal courthouse, and so they were connected through a parking lot that had 2 or 3 levels.
Hey, now, Kurt, let me ask you this. You mentioned veterans, you mentioned Small Business Administration. What about DEA, ATF, Secret Service? Is that correct as well in terms of some of the federal offices in that building? As far as you know?
I know nothing about DEA or ATF. There may have been some Secret Service at one time on the 9th floor, but I couldn't tell you whether there is now or not.
Kurt Myron, a former employee of this building where it's been blown off. Let me ask you this. Some of the reports coming in here lead us to believe it is possible children would be in that building. From your experience working in the building, do you know if that is a possibility?
Well, there may have been a daycare center in the building. I don't know. That could be confirmed by looking it up in a telephone book, I suppose. But,
right.
There may well have been a daycare center. Yes, there was a daycare center there.
A daycare center in the Alfred Murrah building. The side of it has been blown off this morning. You used to work there, Kurt. This has to really hit you right now.
Yeah, you're right.
That's kind of what you've been doing.
The daycare center was on the 2nd floor. The children's play lot was between the federal building and the federal courthouse, a block to the south. So the daycare center was on the 2nd floor.
Yes, you are right. We are getting that confirmation here as well. A daycare on the 2nd floor. Kurt, thank you. Let's take a look at another picture we have on the ground and listen in to what we're seeing here.
Give him all the assistance that I can.
Okay.
How many children have you seen injured today, sir?
Oh, right where I was, I'd probably say about 25 or 30, and that was just on the block that I was in.
I want to see, can I see here?
As we look around, we see dozens of people injured. What's going through where were you when this explosion happened?
I worked for Kerr McGee, and so I was on the 6th floor of our building, and I was working on the computer, and I heard this loud bomb noise, and stuff started to fly into the side of our building, glass and everything else. And so the first thing that I could think of is I thought a plane or something had run into our building. And so I decided to take the steps and try to get out of there. And I came down and I saw that it wasn't our building, but some other building that had exploded. And so I ran up here, and just like everybody else, I'm amazed at all the damage that I see and all the peril around. But, you know, in this time, all we can do is just be of as much assistance as we can to those who are injured and try to get them to some medical care.
You're doing a great job. We all of us in Oklahoma City, thank you for what you've done today.
Well, thank you.
And what many other people like him are doing. The devastation again in downtown Oklahoma City is absolutely incredible. The Alfred Murrah building is almost gone completely. Half of it has collapsed. Numerous injuries all over town. Adults, children, there's glass everywhere. Virtually every building in downtown Oklahoma City appears to have been damaged in some way. We will continue covering this tragic event as we continue now. Let's go back to Tammy.
Hey, Randy, obviously there are countless injuries. The pictures are incredible. Have you been able to get any word of fatalities yet?
Well, Tammy, obviously, with the damage at the Murrah building, we have seen no confirmation of fatalities. But you've seen the pictures from the Murrah building. It would be a miracle of biblical proportion that someone did not die inside that building. My feeling is that many people did. And many people also are in very critical condition out here on the streets of Oklahoma City. Tammy?